In this video, we're going to talk about the power of perspective. Perspective. What do we mean when we say perspective? Don't we mean our point of view, how we see the world, how we see life? It's our perspective. It's like our angle that we're viewing life from. It's kind of like our position in our angle creates our point of view. And there's great power to seeing things from a different perspective, because that means that you're more flexible, more fluid, and that you're not so rigid in your position. You're not so fixed in your position. Because if I'm fixed in my position, if I have a rigid stance, and I'm so fixed, then that means that I can only see life from one point of view. That's a massive limitation. Wouldn't you agree? That limits me on many different things. If I am not flexible, if I'm not allowing myself to be open to seeing things from a different point of view, I'm creating a massive limitation. My life then becomes limited because I'm only seeing it from one position that creates one angle, which creates one point of view. That point of view is then limiting my experience because I'm only able to see whatever I experience from one specific point of view. It's got to be my point of view. My point of view or the highway. Someone comes across, they have their own point of view. I have my point of view. And because I'm not willing to give up my position, I'm not able to be flexible in my stance. I stand firmly. It's like I plant my feet. I'm here in my position, and this is my position. This is my stance. This is what I stand for, is this. And I'm not willing to see things from your point of view. This is what creates a lot of disagreements, a lot of conflict, is being so rigid, so fixed, so closed. See, why can't I be open to seeing things from your point of view? I'm choosing to stay closed. When I stay closed, I'm contracting myself. When I'm open, I'm expanding myself. When I expand myself, I can see things from different points of view. When I'm open to seeing a certain situation or event or experience from different points of view. It's then like I can see this teacup from different points of view. Above here, below, on the angle, all different points of view. Because I can then see things from different points of view, I can then get a greater sense of the totality of the experience. I can see things holistically. See, if I have just a rigid stance, and let me show you from this angle, I'm standing here, and that's where my position is. I'm now limiting myself to just seeing the teacup from just this one angle, which creates this one perspective right here. And I'm not open to seeing things from here. I'm not open to seeing it from my side. Do you see, like, this finger can't see from this finger side. From this side, it's seeing something entirely different. This side can't see the handle. This side can see the handle. So if it can't leave that position, which takes courage and humility, you have to Put your pride aside. It requires some flexibility, requires you to be fluid, to allow you to then move and see things from a different angle. You'll never know it. It's a limitation. Here, it's less limited, the fact that you can see it from this side and see it from this side. Then you can use your discernment and you can have a better understanding, I should say. Wouldn't you agree? Only if you can see this teacup from all points of view would you have a better understanding of it. I have a limited understanding of the teacup if I only see things from right here. So it's a huge limitation when I don't allow myself to be open to seeing things from a new perspective. If I'm not open to seeing life through a new perspective or with a new perspective, if I'm not open to seeing life through a new point of view, it's a severe limitation. So when I am allowing myself to be open, and I stay open, my mind stays open, I'm then able to see things from other people's points of view, which then I can better understand them, as well as whatever situation or event is happening. I can get a better understanding of the experience. I'm not limited to just my point of view then with my judgments based off of my limited information. I can then access more information and make wiser decisions based off of that. Decisions that then come from greater understanding. This is the power of perspective. It's open for everyone. It just comes down to, are you willing to be open? Do you have the willingness to open yourself up to a new perspective? The reason why we don't a lot of the times is because just all that limited information. You have a limited, I'll say me, I have a limited point of view when I'm only seeing things through my point of view or my perspective of life. Then I start believing that this is just how everybody, I get really close, and then I start believing this is how everyone sees life. It's my way or nothing else. It almost feels like it's the only way. You see this when people are very rigid. It's like the only way. I can only be done this way. And what's that way? Oh, your way. Right? A lot of people get really stubborn, rigid, fixed. Right? They've always done certain things a certain way. Right? And then they think that everyone's got to do it their way and that there's no other way that exists. There's no other point of view. This is a severe limitation that a lot of us get locked into. We get locked into it because we've closed ourselves. It's actually a good word too, because it's kind of like you've closed your point of view. It's like you've closed the aperture down and you're now seeing life through a very limited point of view instead of opening. Now I'm seeing more. You open that aperture, you're letting more light in, you can then see more. You're then able to see what other people can't see. If you can become so fluid, so expansive, like I said, you start seeing the totality of things. You can start penetrating the essence of things. You have a holistic view of things where certain people can only see things through their finite point of view. You can then have more of a holistic view where then you can understand things that they can't understand. You're aware of things that they're unaware of. Why is that? You're aware, this person's aware that there's a handle. This person's not aware that there's a handle. If this person's willing to give up this point of view and to see the cup from this side, it then understands, oh, I wasn't aware that there was a handle. Now I'm aware there's a handle. Now I can understand that the teacup has a handle. What else? Oh, there's another point of view, an overhead point of view. Now I'm aware that there's actually tea in this cup. There's a hole in the middle. There's liquid in it. So you can only tell that from this point of view. So when you're able to see things from different points of views, different perspectives, you get a greater understanding of life. You're aware of more things. You're more aware of life. If this is life, just this example, the teacup, and you're able to get all these different perspectives of it, then you're aware of more things. You're more aware of life. When you're more aware of life, you can better understand life. You seem to be able to see things that other people can't see. If you had the perspective of here, 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 and here, compared to one person that can just see, let's say here, they're only here and they're only seeing this. They only see the front of the teacup. They're unaware that there's tea in it. They're unaware of that there's a handle on the other side. They're unaware that there is another side. It would just be an assumption. It might, to this person, it might just look like a wall. So that's what I mean, is there's a huge power to perspective, because when you can get different perspectives on life, you're more aware of life. When you're more aware of life, you can better understand life. You can better experience life. And that's what we all want. Don't we all want a better experience of life to enhance our experience of life? Well, you can enhance your experience of life with different perspectives of life. That's where the power of perspective comes in.